Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, including a full workout again, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I want to state up front as a disclaimer for those of you who do not like current events, you don't like drama, you don't want to know what's going on in the online fitness community. You saw the title of the video when you clicked on it. If you wanted to watch me work out, you should have watched my workout video from last night. If you wanted an informative, you should have watched my informative this morning. You get one of each pretty much every day. Pick your poison. So, without further ado, let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Now, before we talk about Calum Moger and rehabbing from his latest injury/surgery, it's going to be a reoccurring topic here, guys. Let's get some things out of the way. First of all, we will be informed in the comments by multiple people here shortly that Chris Jones does in fact have a 5mm bulge between his L4 and L5, and it's causing him a lot of pain. Thank you guys for letting me know. I wasn't aware of it. You'll be letting me know again shortly in this video, so thank you very much for keeping me up to date on that, keeping me informed. I need to stay informed on what's going on. And apparently Chris Jones' 5mm bulge between his L4 and his L5 is the biggest topic in my comments for the past 2 weeks. So you guys are awesome for staying on top of that. Also, I want to thank everyone for letting me know that the microphone might have been too close to my mouth during my workout footage yesterday and that I sound like Darth Vader. And it pretty much went something like this. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha. I'm going to squat 475 for you guys again today, because I squat every day. Luke, I am your father. Okay, so thank you guys for making me aware of that. I will try to be a little more careful today with today's training about where I place the microphone. But I'm okay, guys. I don't have a punctured lung. There's no water in my lung, no pneumonia, nothing going on. I'm good, but I appreciate the concern. I was just doing my Darth Vader imitation by accident. So, Calum Moger. Calum Moger, or Moger, what? Man, you guys need to chill with me on the pronunciation. I am a Texan by birth. Yes, I know I've lived in other countries, but I'm an indigenous Texan of Eastern European descent. I know that's a little confusing. I don't know all your fancy European pronunciations. Deal with it. Quit being bigoted against my culture. Now, Calum Moger. Moger. His rehabbing after his newest injury. He had the blood clots in his leg. I covered all that already. I discussed the possibilities of maybe, just maybe, because it's one of the well-documented side effects of anabolic abuse, that blood clots in lower extremities are actually heavily correlated with anabolic abuse. And the fact that he injured himself. Well, it's not going too well. I watched the whole video. Yes, normally you guys hear me say, you know, I watched part of the video, but I didn't watch the whole thing. And they were like, man, you watch the whole thing. You liar. You lie all the time. Everything you say is a lie. I actually did watch this whole video, start to finish, in morbid fascination. I actually get queasy when I see stuff related to surgeries from injuries. I know that's going to sound funny. It's like, guys, I've butchered animals and lived on a ranch and hunted and other stuff. For some reason, injury rehab and post-surgery stuff makes me queasy. I actually got a little queasy watching it. People are like, why? Just because, guys, I've had an injury. I've had to have a bicep reattached. I just get queasy when I see that stuff. I don't know why. I can't explain it. So I managed to make it through the whole thing out of morbid fascination. But yeah, he's not doing well, man. Them quads are coming down. Them quads are smaller than mine right now, which is shocking to me because I was seeing mine yesterday. Squats are working wonders. It's going to be a whole other topic later we're going to talk about. But bodybuilders said singles don't build quads. Bodybuilders said low bar squats don't build quads. All right, you guys say so. But, yeah, he's not doing well, guys. The rehab is going slow. He has his leg, I believe, was in traction for 5 weeks. And he still can't move it on his own. He has very limited mobility. He's been out of it for, I think, a week. He's doing physical therapy, rehabbing it. It's painful. He can only move it like 1 inch, the leg, the knee. This could be the end of his career. Like I've said already, the guy has taken too many risks. And it's kind of the point I want to talk to people about. if you're going to chase that whole bodybuilding thing, instead of training for performance, training for athleticism, you need to accept the fact that you are not an athlete. If you're carrying a bunch of extra muscle mass and you have not trained yourself to have balanced strength through full ranges of motion, you don't do tons of full range of motion lifts, big barbell movements, and you've done too much isolation, too many partials, you're not particularly athletic, but you got a lot of muscle and you're lean, you look athletic as hell. I mean, a lot of these bodybuilders, when you look at them, you would look at them and think, that guy can bench press 600 pounds. That guy could squat 700 pounds. That dude probably has an amazing 40. I wonder what his vertical leap is when you look at their legs. Right, because that's what we're thinking. You start thinking strength to weight ratios. They're lean and all muscle. This guy has to be athletic. He has to be, right? That's what you think. But if they don't train for it, they're not. And if you're not particularly athletic, you don't have fantastic mobility, you don't have fantastic connective tissue structure, and you're carrying that extra body weight, you might as well be a fat guy trying to do some of these stunts and showing off. You might as well be. Because you're going to get hurt. And it's like I've told guys before, you got to pick and choose, man. If you want to be a bodybuilder and you don't train for athleticism, but just for the whole bodybuilding gig, quit trying to show off and do silly stuff. I mean, I know he comes from Australia, and I know Australian lifters, there's kind of a stereotype there, right? There's a stereotype. And he kind of meets the stereotype. I'm not saying it's universally true, because I've actually met a couple of guys from Australia who train who do not meet that stereotype, so don't take offense, Aussie guys. Do not take offense. But you guys know what I'm talking about. You know, the guys are like, oh, I'll be a six-shredded cunt, brah. You know exactly who I'm talking about. He kind of meets the stereotype of the pretty boy, dumb meathead who's focused and obsessed with his body, the narcissistic thing. But that extrovert personality, he wants to showboat, he wants to be outgoing. You know, he is an outgoing guy. I'm not going to lie there. I've said before, he's not smart, but he's charismatic and he's outgoing, and I'll give him that. I'll give him that. You know, you can't take that away from him, but the problem becomes when lack of common sense, lack of thinking through the consequences of your actions leads you to start doing stunts, and everyone's saying, well, he's just having fun living his life. Yeah, but he's ruining his career. He's now had multiple potentially career-ending injuries, right? Re-injured the bicep again that he had repaired doing this showing off and rappelling down cliffs. When you weigh over 200 pounds and you start rappelling down cliffs, and I mean, I weigh over 200 pounds. Here's the thing, even though I train for a certain degree of athleticism as a strength athlete, you're not going to see me rappelling down a cliffside, not at over 200 pounds. Maybe if I weighed 185, if I were to diet down to 185, all right, I've got the connective tissue, the mobility, I might do some stuff like that, but not weighing over 200, okay? Let's be honest here. It's accidents waiting to happen. He does stuff like that and he's beating himself up. I mean, after the bicep and then the re-injury, that's bad enough. Now the blood clots in the leg, he's lost muscle in that leg. He has no mobility in it. And we're talking about like 6 weeks now of no mobility after the surgery. He's still got an insane amount of tightness there. It's painful. So I would ask guys when they say, well, that's just living life. Well, is it worth it? Particularly when you're someone you want to make your career out of this, or doing injuries, getting major injuries, just showing off. Not in some competitive environment, but just showing off. Is it really worth it? I mean, his career may be over. I can guarantee you right now he's lost a lot of income this year from it. Now, granted, he's making views on YouTube. Hell, I watched the whole video of that. So, I mean, he's getting some ad revenue off of that. But as far as other career opportunities as a fitness model, an actor, all that other stuff, based on his physique, it's going downhill. Is it worth it? You know, and then people are like, well, they're all angry at the girl for dumping him. She looked like she's trying to make it in the fitness industry. She was with a dude who keeps hurting himself doing dumb stuff. I'm going to throw that out there. Do you blame her? You guys need to understand that. That's just reality. I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. That's just the reality, man. I mean, when a girl gets with you because you have common interest and a common path in life and you start screwing it up, they may not stick with you. A girl with low self-esteem will. She might. A girl with low self-esteem might stick with you really, really screwing up that bad multiple times. But a confident girl who's got her own views, where you guys could argue whether they're a gold digger or not, she's not going to stick it out with you. Just food for thought there. Food for thought. So in short, the moral of this story, guys, don't show off and exceed your ability. If you haven't trained specifically to do something and you haven't put your body into the position and the ability to do whatever physical endeavor that you plan on doing, you should probably go prepare for it specifically first. And you need to account where you are in your fitness journey, your athletic journey, before you start doing silly show-off stuff or fun or feats of strength or athletic activities. Particularly if you want to stay injury-free, particularly if you're serious about your fitness, you need to seriously assess where you are before you start going after certain undertakings, right? Because if you don't, and you don't have a realistic view of that, and again, drugs, PEDs can cloud your judgment on these things. If you're not careful, they will do that. They tend to boost your ego. If you're not paying attention to that, and I'm talking as an old guy who's had injuries, who's been there, who's done stupid stuff and got hurt, right? I've done stupid stuff and got hurt. I'm telling you guys, take this stuff seriously. Assess stuff a little bit better. Don't just go jump and do physical things on a whim just because you work out. Make sure that you are physically prepared for it and that certain things you haven't done in your fitness journey are not going to put you in a worse position to do it. In other words, stuff to where you're having too much body weight might get you hurt and you're walking around 220 lean. Even if you're lean 220, think you're in shape, you better make sure. You better stop and think that through. Better stop and think through the way that you've been training in your joint angle specificities, how strong your core is, how strong your connective tissue is, and make sure that that stuff can handle the body weight that you have for the activity that you want to do. Or else you might be sitting there in the hospital like Calum, losing size in your leg, unable to walk on it, unable to do anything with it when your whole career depends on your physique. Think the stuff through, guys. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.